Hello friends, in last lecture we started the new chapter, that is factorization. We'll continue with the same. So let us see some questions. So here is the very first question. We have to factorize. So the first one is x square plus xy plus 8x plus 8y. Okay, we saw in factorization generally we have to take something common. Sometimes that common, it is easy to get that common directly, and sometimes we have to change the sign to take the common. Now over here, if you observe, you can see the first two terms have the common x. So we'll take x common from first two, and then we'll see is it possible to take common anything from the next two. So uh, here I can take x common, so x plus y plus 8 common, so x plus y. See, whenever you take common from first two and the from next two, uh, the the quantity which we get in the bracket, that should be the same, because if won't be same, then it won't be able to we won't be able to factorize it further. Now here these two terms again have x plus y common, so this I do write in this way, and here I will get x plus 8. So this is the final answer. The only thing was that from first two we took common, from next two, and again by taking common we got a common quantity in two terms, and this is my final answer. So please note it down, then we'll see the next question. Okay, now next is 15xy minus 6x minus 6x plus 10y minus 4 plus 10y minus 4. Now from these two, if we talk about the constants or variables, x is definitely common among the variables. Now among the constants, this 15 has 3, because 15 can be written as 3 into 5. Similarly 6 can be written as 3 into 2, so we can say we have 3x common from the first two terms. So 15xy minus 6x plus 10y minus 4. From first two I can take 3x common, so 2y minus 3. Sorry, 3y minus 2 actually. 3y minus, not 3y, here it should be 5y. Then only we'll get 15. So 3y, 5y minus 2. From these two you can take 2 common, so here we'll get 5y minus 2. Now the quantity which we are getting in the bracket must be same to factorize it further, and here we are getting the same quantity. So now we can say this first term have 5y minus 2, here the second term have 5y minus 2. So I will take this 5y minus 2 common, so I will left with 3x plus 2. So this is my final answer. So please note it down, then we'll see the next question. Okay, now let us see the next question. Okay, next is ax plus bx, ax plus bx plus ay plus by. Okay, so let us see how to solve this. Definitely, first we always try to get common from first two or first three. So here we can see that first two have a common, that is x. So we'll take common from first two as x. So as I take x common, here I will get a plus b. Similarly, from these two I can take common y. So here I will get a plus b. Now definitely these two terms have a common a plus b. So when I take that a plus b common, I am left with x plus y. Okay, so this is the one way. There is one more way. Let me explain you that as well. See, suppose instead of here I took common from first two. Now you can see that we have common in first and third as well. Okay, these two have common a and these two have common b. So we can uh, find the factors of the given expression in that way as well. So for that what we do, first we do write the terms having common quantity together. In this start the same method, that means from first two I can take a common, so x plus y. From these two I can take b common, so x plus y. Now when I take x plus y common from these two, here I will left with a plus b. So here you can see the answers are same. A plus b into x plus y or x plus y into a plus b is the same thing. This is the product of two quantities. So note it down, then we'll see the next question. Okay, now let us see the next question. Okay, now next question is, a square plus bc, a square plus bc plus ab plus ac. Okay, so again, if you see that from first two, definitely you can take. Uh, okay, from first two, it is not possible to take anything common. Okay, yes, it is possible to take common from first and second or first and last. That is, uh, that can be done by any way. So I'm writing the terms from which it is possible to take common. So I wrote these two, then BC plus AC. Now these two have common a, so I take a common, so I will left with a plus b, and these two have c common, so I write b plus a. Now a plus b and b plus a is same thing, but still I'm writing one more step for you, which is actually not required, but for your better understanding I'm writing. I wrote this b plus a as a plus b, so that you can easily find the same quantity, same expression common, and if I take that common, I will get a plus b into a plus c. So this is my final answer. So please note it down, then we'll see the next question. Okay, now let us see the next question. Next question is 6ab minus b square, 6 AB minus B square plus 12AC minus 2BC plus 12AC minus 2BC plus 12AC minus 2BC. Okay, so here we can see, yes, these two quantity have something common. So we can start with that only. So from first two, what we can take common is B. Only B can be taken common from first two. So if I take B common, here I left with 6A minus B. And from here if I take 2C common, okay, I can take 2C common. So here I will left with 6A minus B. Okay. So definitely you are getting the same thing in the brackets. For a while, suppose you are not getting the same quantity in the bracket after taking common, then there are two possibilities. The first thing, that means there is our mistake while taking common either in first bracket or in second. And the second thing might be there is a mistake in question, but the possibility of the first one is more. That means there might be our mistake while taking common. Okay, so now from these two I can take 6A minus B common, B plus 2C. Okay, so this is my final answer. Please note it down, then we'll see the next question. Okay, now let us see the next question. Next question is A into A plus B minus C, A into A plus B minus C minus BC. Okay, A into A plus B minus C minus BC. So here it is not possible to take anything common directly. In that case, we have to open this bracket. Okay, after opening the bracket, definitely we'll find either first two or first and third or first and last that may have some common. So here on multiplication, I will get A square plus AB minus AC minus BC. Now from these two, yes, A can be taken common, so A plus B. From these two, minus C can be taken common, A plus B. So here I got my answer, A plus B multiplied by A minus C. Okay, from first two I took A plus B common, so I left with A minus C. So this is the final answer. Okay, now let us see the next question, then I will give you time to note it down all together. Next question is A square x square plus A square x square plus A square x square plus 1, A x square plus 1 into x plus A. Okay, A square x square plus A x square plus 1 2x plus A. Okay, so again it is not possible. See, definitely here we can take common x, but if we take x common, there won't be any more terms to take something common again. So here again we have to start with by multiplication, that means by opening the brackets. So let us see how to proceed. So here I can write A square x square remains as it is, plus over here it will become ax cube plus x plus A. Now check, definitely you will have common, you will find something common in first two. So from first two, see, here it is A, here it is A square, so definitely A can be taken common. Here we have x cube and here we have x square, So x square is common. So ax square common if I take, then here I will left with a and here I left with x. Now next, see, 1 is always in the multiplication. So here actually I can say if I take plus 1 common, so I will get x plus a, isn't it? If I take plus 1 common, x plus a. Now this is a plus x, this is x plus a, it's the same thing. So if I take a plus x common, here I will left with ax square plus 1. Okay, if I take a plus x common, I will left with ax square plus 1. So this is my final answer. We'll see one more question and then I will give you time to note all these. So next is 3ax minus 6ay. Next question is 3ax minus 6ay minus 8by minus 8by plus 4ax plus 4bx, not ax, okay, plus 4bx. Now again, first we'll try to take common from first two if it is possible, and if it is not possible, then we rearrange. That means we rewrite the equation in such a way so that we have common from first two and the common from the remaining two. So from these two, definitely we can take a common among the variables, and among the constant here we have 3 and here 6, that is 3 into 2. That means again we can say here we have a numeric value 3 which is common and a variable that is a common. That means from first two I can take 3a common. So I will left with x minus 2y. Okay, now definitely we should get the same quantity in the bracket after taking common from the next two. Okay, so uh, what that we can take common is, see, b is there in both as well as 4 is there. So I can take uh, minus 4 common, minus 4b common. Okay, if I take, okay, plus 4b common, if I take plus 4b common, here I will get minus 2y plus x. Okay, you can check it in reverse direction. 4b into minus 2y, 4b minus 2y is minus 8by. Yes, we have here minus 8by. 4b into x is 4bx. Yes, here we have 4bx. So now you can see here it is x minus 2y, here it is minus 2y plus x. It's the same thing. So I'm adding one more step uh, in this question, in this solution, in this way, x minus 2y. Okay, it's the same thing. I just wrote in a way so that we can easily see that the terms in the bracket are same. Now I can take x minus 2y common, so here I will left with 3a plus 4b. So this is my final answer. So please note it down this all, and then we will see the next question. Okay, now we'll see the next question. So next question is a cube x plus a cube x plus a square x minus y minus a y plus z minus z. Okay, a cube x plus a square x minus y minus a y plus z minus z. Okay, so here definitely from first two we have something common directly. We can take a square common. So let us see. Suppose I took a square common. So here I will left with ax plus x minus y. Now from these two there isn't anything that we can take common. Okay, it means definitely we have to start this with by opening the bracket. Even though if I take try to take common from first and third one, again only thing that I can take is common. But in that case, these two terms, second and fourth, do not have anything common. So we have to start this by opening the bracket. So a cube x plus a square x minus y minus a y plus z minus z. Okay, so now here it is a cube x plus a square x minus a square y minus ay minus az minus z. Now we have to check, is it possible to take common from first two, then next two, then next two, or from first three and next three, whatever. So here definitely these two have common a square x. These two have common ay, and these two have common z. Definitely they have common, but we have to also check after taking common whatever will be left in the bracket is same or not. So let us see. Here I will take a square x common, so I left with a plus 1. From these two again I can take minus ay common, so I will left with a plus 1. From these two I can take minus z common, so a plus 1. So it means these three terms have a plus 1, a plus 1, a plus 1 common in the bracket. Now as soon as I take a plus 1 common from these three terms, I will get my answer. Here it is a square x minus a y minus z. So this is my final answer. Okay, so please note it down, then we'll see the next question. Okay, now let us see the next question. Now next question is x square plus 3x whole square x square plus 3x whole square minus 5x square plus 3x minus 5x square plus 3x. Okay. Further, minus y x square plus 3x minus y x square plus 3x plus 5y plus 5y. Okay, so now again we have to take common if it is possible directly from first two and the next two. Yes, here we have x square plus 3x. Here also we have x square plus 3x. So if I take common, okay, here I have x square plus 3x whole square minus 5 x square plus 3x minus y x square plus 3x plus 5y. Now from first two, see, if I say x square plus 3x is a square, for a while if I consider this quantity is a square, so here actually I have a square minus 5a minus ya plus 5y. Now from these two, on taking a common, I will get a minus 5. From these two, on taking minus y common, I will get a minus 5, isn't it? So here that is the only observation that you have to make little bit clear. So from these two, from first two, I can take x square plus 3x common, x square plus 3x common. So I will left with x square plus 3x minus 5. From next two, I can take minus y common. So x square plus 3x minus 5. Okay, see here I took minus y common, that's why I changed the sign over here. Minus into minus plus, so ultimately when you multiply, see, you have to always, wherever you get confused ki whether the quantity in the bracket is right or wrong, first of all, this gets matched with this. So that is the one indication that these two are correct. But it is also possible that these two are both are incorrect. So if you have any confusion, do one thing, multiply again to check whether on multiplication you are getting this term or not. So here if I multiply this minus 5 with this, yes, I will get this. And minus y into minus 5, yes, it will be plus 5. So this is almost done. From these two, now I have x square plus 3x minus 5 has been taken common. So in bracket I will left with x square plus 3x minus y. Now this is a quadratic polynomial, quadratic expression. So here it is possible to factorize it further. And whether it is possible to factorize it further or not, for that we'll check with b square minus 4ac. So b square, that is 9, minus 4 into a is 1, c is minus 5. So 9 plus, so 29. Definitely roots or the zeros or the factors will be real, but as it is 29, that means its zeros won't be rational. Okay, there will be irrational factors. So we'll skip to do that. So in that case, I will say this is my final answer: x square plus 3x minus 5 multiplied by x square plus 3x minus y. So please note it down. Then we'll see the next question. Okay, now let us see the next question. Okay, next question is 16a minus b whole cube, 16a minus b whole cube minus 24a minus b whole square. Okay, this is not that much difficult, but think for a while that how you will solve it, then I will give it solution. Okay, see here if we talk about the numeric numbers 16 and 24, so factors of 16 are, uh, I'm not writing actually the factors, here I can say it is 4, sorry, 8 into 2, and 24 is 8 into 3. So I can say 8 is the numeric term which is common in these two. Now here it is a minus b square and here it is a minus b cube raised to 3. So a minus b square is common. So this can be factorized in this way. Here I can write 16a minus b cube minus 24a minus b square. Okay, so this will become 8 a minus b square has been taken common. So here I will left with 2 into a minus b minus 3. Okay, so further here it will become 8a minus b whole square and 2a minus 2b minus 3. So this is the final answer. So let us see one more question and then I will give you time to note it down. Next question is, AB x square plus 1, AB in bracket we have x square plus 1 plus x a square plus b square plus x in bracket we have a square plus b square. So again it is very clear that it is not possible to take common directly. It means we have to open the bracket. So if I open the bracket, so let us see what we will get. Okay, so here we'll get abx square plus ab plus xa square plus xb square. Okay, now from these two, see, now if you say from these two, if you take AB common and from these two, if you say X common, again you will get the same thing. That means definitely we have to rearrange them, because from these two, if I take AB common, here I will get X square plus 1. From these two, if I take X common, I will get this. That means I will get the question itself. So definitely now it is, I won't take common from first two. Might be from first and last, or might be from first and third. So I'm writing first and third together, and then I will see whether it is possible to take common or not. And after taking common, again it is possible to take one common or not. So from these two, you can see here we have x. Here also it is x square. That means definitely x can be taken common. Here we have a square. Here it is a. That means a is also common. So I can take actually ax common. So if I take ax common, so here I will get bx. Okay, a is taken out common, and among x square, one x is taken common. So ax is this. So I left with bx. And from these two, if I take ax common, only a will be there. Now definitely there is a question that what we should take common from next two, and uh, is it are we are going to get the same thing in the bracket. So let us see, first of all we'll see what is common, and then we'll see whether we are getting the same quantity in the bracket or not. So b is the common in these two. So if I take b common, here I will get a, and here definitely bx. Yes, we have the same quantities in the bracket, a plus bx, a plus bx. Okay, so here I'm writing a plus bx, here I'm writing a plus bx. Although this step was not required, but I wrote for your better understanding. Now a plus bx can be taken common, so here I will get ax plus b. So this is my final answer. Now suppose after taking common b over here, if still we are not getting these two quantities same, then here we have to again change the order. Here I took first and third. Then if we won't get common over here, then I will take first and the last. And definitely in that case you will get the common. So this is the final answer. Please note it down. Note it down these two, then we'll see the next question. Okay, now let us see the next question. Okay, now next question is 3a minus b whole square, 3a minus b whole square minus 9c square. Okay, so here we are changing a track little bit. Now definitely uh, these two terms does not have anything common. Even though if you open the bracket you won't get anything common. Then how to factorize this? See, if you observe it carefully, this is a complete square first term, and the second term is also complete square. We can write it as 3c whole square. That means this is actually difference of squares. That means I can say this is actually a square minus b square. And you should know that a square minus b square is a plus b into a minus b. So in this way we will get factor. That means here we have to apply the identity of a plus b into a minus b is equal to a square minus b square. Okay, so let us see its solution. First of all, I will write the given expression in the form of identity. That means a square minus b square. So first term is already written in that form, it's a complete square. Second term is also complete square, but I have to write in the form of identity. So here it is a square minus b square. So a square minus b square is a. So I do write this as it is a plus b. Then a minus b. Okay, so this is my final answer. That's it. 3a minus b plus 3c and 3a minus b minus 3c. So please note it down, then we'll see the next question. Okay, now let us see the next question. Next question is x raised to 4 minus a raised to 4. Next question is x raised to 4 minus y raised to 4. Okay, a raised to 4 or y raised to 4. So again here uh, definitely it is not possible. Only two terms are there and they do not have anything common. But if you observe carefully, it is possible to write in the form of the square. This is a complete square. This y raised to 4 is also a complete square. So first thing that I am going to do, that I do write these terms in the form of complete square. So I can write this is x square whole square minus y square whole square. Okay, a square minus b square. So now a square minus b square is a plus b multiplied by a minus b. So here a is actually x square and b is actually y square. So a minus b, then a plus b. Okay, this x square is a, this y square is b. So I wrote a minus b, a plus b according to the identity of a square minus b square, a plus b into a minus b. Now again if you observe the first term, okay, among these two, this I wrote first. So first term, it is x square minus y square. See, whenever you find the difference of the squares, that means something square minus anything other square, definitely you can apply this identity. So here it is x square minus y square. So again I can apply the identity a minus b into a plus b. and this x square y square I do write as it is. So this is my final answer. These are the factors of the given expression. So please note it down. Then we'll see the next question. Okay, so now let us see the next question. Okay, next question is x raised to 4 minus y plus z raised to 4. Okay, x raised to 4 minus y plus z raised to 4. Again, if you observe carefully, these two terms have the minus sign between them, and these two terms can be written in the form of complete squares. So, if I do write this x raised to 4 as x square whole square minus this y plus z raised to 4 as y plus z square whole square. Okay, let me write the same thing in this way. Now this exactly fits the identity a square minus b square, isn't it? This is a, where a is x square and b is y plus z whole square. So now according to identity, a square minus b square is a plus b multiplied by a minus b, or a minus b. Okay, here I wrote a minus b in first bracket, and in the second bracket I do write a plus b. Okay, a minus b, a plus b. Now this is x square y plus z whole square. Again there is a minus sign between two complete squares. Again I can apply that identity. Which identity? A square minus b square, which says that it should be equal to a minus b multiplied by a plus b. So here a is x and b is y plus z. So a square minus b square, that is a minus b into a plus b, a plus b, and this remains as it is because it is not possible to factorize it further. So whether if two things can be done over here, even either I do write it as it is, or here I can apply the identity of a plus b whole square. In both the cases this remains as it is. That means it is not possible to factorize this further. So I do write x square plus y square plus z square plus 2yz. That means here I applied the identity of a plus b whole square. Even though if you won't apply the identity, you simply do write y plus z whole square, still it is okay. Okay, so here x, now here when you open the bracket, here you will get x minus y minus z, x plus y plus z, and over here I do write it as it is, x square plus y square plus z square plus 2yz. So these are the factors of the given expression. Okay, so I hope you got this. See, the only thing, first thing that I observed, there is a minus sign between two terms. Okay, and those two terms can be written in the form of complete squares. So first thing what I did, I wrote those two terms in the form of complete square, and minus sign was already there. Now here I applied identity of a square minus b square, that is a minus b, this y plus z whole square b, and similarly a plus b. Now again over there I got the minus sign between two terms which are complete squares. So next I applied again a square minus b square, that is a plus b multiplied by a minus b. So I wrote a, that is x, minus b, that is y plus z. So a minus b, a plus b. And over here I had applied the identity of a plus b whole square, that is a square plus b square plus 2ab. So here I got x minus y minus z when I open the bracket. Here, as the plus sign is outside the bracket, so sign won't get changed, it remain as it is, x plus y plus z, and over here x square plus y square plus z square plus 2y z. So this is the final answer. Please note it down, then we'll see the next question. Okay, now let us see the next question. It is 2x minus 32x raised to 5. Next question is 2x minus 32x raised to 5. Now definitely there is a square, sorry, there is a minus sign between the two terms, but these two terms are not the complete squares, isn't it? Neither the 2x is a complete square nor the 32x raised to 5 is a complete square. But if we have x raised to 4 over here, definitely it will be complete square. Okay, so now to make it x raised to 4, I have to take x common, so I will start with that only. Also, I can take 2 common because 32 is 2 raised to 5. That means there are 5 2's in 32. So definitely 1, 2 can be taken common. So 1, 2 and 1x. So here I can say this is actually combination of two concepts. First that we have to take common, and then we have to apply the identity of a square minus b square. So here if I take 2x common, here I will get 1 minus 16x raised to 4. Now you can see minus sign was already there, but now these two terms are complete square. 1 can be written as 1 square, and 16 is uh, 4 square, and x raised to 4 is x raised square of x raised to 2. So here I do write 1 square minus, here I do write 4x square whole square. Okay, very first thing I took 2x common. Why I took 2x common? Because after taking common, first of all it was possible to take the common, and after taking common, the remaining expressions gives me an identity of a square minus b square. So 1 I wrote as 1 square, 16x raised to 4 I wrote 4x square whole square. Okay, so 2x remains as it is. Now here I can apply the identity of a square minus b square, that is a plus b into a minus b. So a minus b, a minus b into a plus b. Now again there is a minus sign between these two, and these two again can be written as a complete square. 4x square can be written as 2x whole square, and this 1 again can be written as 1 square. So here it is 2x, this I write 1 square minus 2x whole square, and this I do write as it is without any change. So next step, here it will be 2x. Now here it is a plus b, a minus b. So 1 minus 2x, 1 plus 2x, 1 plus 4x square. Now again minus sign is there, Now these two terms definitely can be written in the form of complete square. See, how can I write this 1 minus 2x in the form of complete square? I can write this 1 square minus root 2x whole square. But I won't do this because here root sign has been introduced, as and I told you in the previous lecture that we'll factorize an algebraic expression until we won't get the root sign. Okay, so here if I factorize it further, root sign will be there, so I will stop the factorization over here. So these are the factors of the given expression. So once again, let me explain you. First of all, I took 2x common. After taking 2x common, here I got 1 minus 16x raised to 4. Minus sign is there, as well as these two terms can be written in the form of a square minus b square. So I applied this identity. Square minus b square is a minus b into a plus b. Okay, so 1 square 4x square whole square. So I applied the identity a minus b, a plus b. This again can be factorized further using the same identity, because it is possible to write 1 as well as 4x square in the form of complete square. So here I wrote this, and then I applied the identity a minus 2x and a plus 2x. Okay. Now, as I told you, this is possible to factorize it further, but root sign will come, so we'll stop our factorization over here. So these are my final factors of the given expression. So please note it down, then we'll see the next question. Okay, now let us see the next question. Okay, next question is 81x raised to 4, 81x raised to 4 minus 121 x square. Okay, again minus sign is there. Yes, that means it is possible to apply the identity of a square minus b square. Yes, but if these two terms can be written in the form of complete square without root sign, yes, here it is possible. I can write 81 as a 9 square and 121 as a 11 square. Similarly, this x raised to 4 can be written as square of x square, and this can be written as square of x. So here I do write 9x square whole square minus 11x whole square. Okay, so here I can apply the identity of a square minus b square. So this will become a plus, sorry, a minus b multiplied by a plus b. Okay, so I think that's it. That is my final answer, because it is not see, definitely this is not possible to factorize further, and this term definitely minus sign is there, but also this first term can be written in the form of complete square, but this 11x, this is not possible to write it in the complete square. If it is possible, then root sign will be there. That means I can write 3x whole square minus root of 11x whole square, which is not, we won't go for that. We won't factorize up to the root sign. So this is my final answer. So please note it down. Okay, so now let us see the next question. Okay, this is easy question. The only thing is I want to give you the type of question. So it is 16a square minus 25 upon 4a square. 25 upon 4a square. Okay, this question is nothing special. The only thing is that I want to tell you that uh, it is not always you get the uh, real numbers. Okay, you may get the numbers in the form of p upon q or a upon b. So again we'll start with the same thing. Definitely minus sign is there, so it is we have to check whether it is possible to write the remaining the two terms in the form of complete square or not. So here this 16a square can be written as 4a whole square, isn't it? I can write this as 4a whole square, and this can be written as 5 upon 2a whole square, isn't it? 25 is the square of 5 and 4a square is the square of 2a. So here I got a square minus b square, and we know that a square minus b square is a minus b multiplied by a plus b. So this is my final answer. Okay, the only change over here was that here I gave you the numerator as well as the denominator. So you have to check that how to write that particular term in the form of a complete square. So here it was 25 for a square, so that I wrote as 5 upon 2a whole square, and here it is 4a whole square. So a plus b, a minus b. So this is the final answer. So please note it down. Okay, so that is all about this lecture. Okay, in this lecture we basically focused on the factorization based on the uh, identity, that is a square minus b square. Also how to take common by rearranging the terms of the expression. Now in next lecture we will continue with the same. Till then, bye, thank you, take care, stay at